Hi, my name is Karina and welcome to the Karina Chronicles. In this reading vlog, I'm going to try to find back my reading speed that had been great in August, starting with the book Firekeeper's Daughter by Angelina Boulley. And I'm very excited. So let's start. The last reading vlog I also tried to read this book, but I got a little bit stuck on A Marvellous Light by Freya Marske, and it took me a little longer than I wanted to, so I haven't started this book yet, but hope to be able to finish it this week. And I also hope to be able to finish Sterrenjager by Jen Minkman after this, which is a Dutch YA novel of I think around 300 pages. So usually I read that very quick. If I have like one good evening free for myself, I can finish such a book. So I have such an evening on Friday. So right before I will end this reading vlog. So I hope to have this one finished before Friday, so that on Friday I can read Sterrenjager in one go. But we'll see. This book is actually a YA thriller kind of thing. And I am very fascinated by it. I love the cover and I'm curious to see how I will like the rest of this book. So let's start. I wanted to update you. I have an evening off, so I'm going to try to read as much as possible, but I'm so tired. It's 9 p.m. and I don't know if I will survive another hour before falling asleep, but I want to. I do have a lot of free time this weekend, like a lot. The only thing I have, like 2 things that are both like 1.5 hours, so 3 hours occupied in a whole weekend. And furthermore, not Friday evening, I'm having weekend this time, like Saturday evening, Sunday and Monday. So Saturday evening off, Sunday free and Monday free, so I need to read a lot, but I'm so tired. And also, when I filmed the intro, I was under the impression that I would be able to finish A Marvellous Light in the last reading vlog and start this reading vlog with reading Firekeeper's Daughter. I did not finish A Marvellous Light, not at all. If you saw my reading vlog, you know I haven't read at all. So that's the first task of tonight. Finishing this. I just read 20 pages. I'm now at page 40 out of 372. So this is going to be the first big task and it's not going to be easy. But well, gotta try. Furthermore, I want to show you 2 more things that I collected. First, I got a 3-pack. This is something you can get for free in bookstores or book events or a lot of places actually. In the Young Adult Book Week that we have in the Netherlands, which is this week, and you can also get it a little bit before. And I collect them, and I haven't read any. I know, it's horrible, but I do collect them, and they are on my TBR, just never very high. But it's very small, a few cute stories by quite famous Dutch young adult authors. So it is nice. And they are free, so I collected one from my bookstore. I bought so many books there, I was like, I can get this. But I bought also another book, because I'm going to the Young Adult Literature Festival in Utrecht again, as every year. And the first year, I think there were like 6 authors or 7. And the second year, a little less. And then COVID hit. And there were a lot less authors. And I always tell myself that I can buy a book by every author that comes so that I can let them sign my book. So I was doing that for this year, but they keep announcing authors. If they keep doing this, I really need to stop buying books because I'm getting broke just by this one event. I spent so many money on it. It's ridiculous, but I'm excited about all of them, and the author they just announced I'm also excited about, so I still bought her book. And that is Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen. And it is a paperback. I didn't buy the hardcover, although we had it in the bookstore, but okay. And it has like thorns and roses on the pages. I hope you can see that. It's again purple. I don't know how many purple books I will collect. I just made a purple recommendations video, and since then I've only been collecting purple books. It's ridiculous. But I love this cover, don't you? It's really, really pretty. And also the story, it's apparently like a Prince Charming, really a fairy tale. It makes me think of Sleeping Beauty a lot, which was my favorite fairy tale when I was younger. So I hope it's kind of a retelling about that. It also is apparently a story with a very morally grey, anti-heroic main character. But I also read a lot of reviews that if you go into the story thinking that, you might be disappointed because she's not that morally grey. I'm just going into it blind. I love the cover. I love that she's coming to the literature festival. I'm curious what she has to say. And yeah, really happy I have it. But so many books now. I think I own 6 now. There are 7 authors coming, I guess, and I always choose one that I don't buy a book from. And if I have the chance, I choose an author that I already own a book from, which is the case now as well. So there are 7 authors coming, but you also always get a book for free in the goodie bag. So that's already 8. So quite some books that I need to read, but really excited about it anyway. And for now, I'm going to continue in A Marvellous Light. It's kind of making sense after 40 pages. We're switching point of views. I didn't even notice. I was so tired every time when I read this. I was like, who's this again? What are we reading? But there are 2 point of views, which makes sense. And I think I kind of understand what's happening now. So that makes it better. Maybe I will get through it a little bit quicker now. So let's enjoy my evening. I have wine, I have snacks, I have music, and I can read. The only thing I need to do is don't fall asleep. So, I had a lot less time for reading than I expected, but still I managed to finish A Marvellous Light. And after like 60 pages, the story kept going. And I kind of liked it. I was intrigued, I wanted to know what was going to happen. But it didn't spark any very special thing for me. I think I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. It is a funny combination of different genres and different plot lines. I mean, it's quite spicy. It's a quite spicy gay romance story that is told through a magic murder mystery, which is cool, I would say. I think I did not read anything like this before. I like it. I think it would make for a great movie, actually. But I was so bored by the beginning, by the first 60 pages, that I couldn't get myself to be very enthusiastic about the rest. It was nice. And not everything was very predictable, and there were a lot of things good. Yeah, it's a good debut novel. I feel a little bit the same as about The Nature of Witches, which was also a debut novel, and I am curious for both authors to see more of their writing, but they didn't fulfill the full potential of the story they created themselves, I feel like. Mostly because of their writing, and I hope to see that their writing gets a little bit better when they are more experienced. So that is what I feel about A Marvellous Light. The second part, I don't remember how it's called, but it will come out on the 1st of November of this year. So quite soon actually, but it hasn't come out yet. So, well, I have now read everything by this author for now. And the second part will be about the sister of the main character in here. So that is cool, and that will be a lesbian romance, which is fun. And it will be a trilogy in the end, so I guess we will meet a person in the second book, or maybe have met this person already, and then we'll have another romance story in the third book. We'll see. But I'm curious to see how all of this will continue. And I liked Maud, the sister. So I am curious to see how her story is going to develop. So, yeah. And now I will start in Firekeeper's Daughter by Angelina Boulley. But for today, most of the reading is done. I need to get going. I need to do a lot of cleaning and stuff. And I procrastinated a bit by reading this. So I will probably start the book maybe tonight a little bit and otherwise tomorrow. But happy to start in something freshly new. And also I hope that it's a little bit less spicy romance because I liked it. I found out that I am not afraid of reading that, but I'm also having a completely different reading experience from when I'm just reading fantasy or something, which is more really happening in my head. And when I read this romance, I feel a little bit disconnected. So, yeah. We'll see if I find the Firekeeper's Daughter more relatable in some way. Hi. It is Saturday morning, quite early, but it's light, so it's fine. So it's also not that early, because when I actually woke up, it was still dark, and I was like, no. We're not gonna do this when it's dark. So this is my only free day of the week. So I'm trying to get as much reading done as possible and also make some videos, of course. And I'm excited for that. So that's why I woke up quite early. I do have an orchestra rehearsal and that will take me from 2 to 6. So that's 4 hours, quite a lot. But doesn't matter. For now, I am reading Firekeeper's Daughter. And I'm at page 65 and finally things actually start happening. Because before this it feels like a romance and I know it's not. So that makes it weird because then you're not enjoying it, you know. I know this is like a YA thriller and there's maybe some magic kind of thingy or science fiction kind of thingy in here. So a romance is not what I was looking forward to the first 65 pages. So I'm curious to see how it will change now. Happy about it changing at all. So that's nice. What I just said, by the way, about today being a free day and reading as much as possible, not everything of the reading of today will be in this vlog. Because Saturdays are the days that I post reading vlogs. So I will cut off this vlog. After I've read this morning, I won't be able to finish the book. And then I'll just continue my day and I hope I can finish the book tonight. And that will be in my next vlog then. But I have quite some more updates, but I can do them in bed. And I'm still wanting to read some more first. But we can do a haul in a moment time. Okay, mild spoiler here. Very mild. And it will only take a few seconds. But nothing really happened. I thought the story would get going now, but nothing really happened. Well, that's a shame. Okay, so at page 96 or something, and things have started. And I don't like it. What is this girl doing? She has this perfect surroundings by very kind people, and sometimes they might act not so kind, but they always have a reason for it, like just a normal family actually. And she chooses this guy over everything, and it's not like she's pretending like she isn't dumb, like she knows, oh, I shouldn't do this, but I want to know the truth. Oh, I hate that. You don't want to know the truth. You want to be with your family. Just really hate this girl. But, well, as you see, I'm starting to get invested in the story. So that's a good thing, maybe. Okay, but on a different note, I needed to show a new book to you. I hold another book. I know. Let's not talk about it. But it is, again, a book that was recommended to me by a good friend as their favorite book of all time. First, they said Harry Potter. But the last person also said Harry Potter, so I was like, no. And then he was like, okay, but since I grew older, I had 3 favorite books and I couldn't choose between them because they are such different genres. One of them is Crime and Punishment by Dostoyevsky. I am going to read that book anyway because it's part of a collection that my parents own and that I read every part of, but just I take my time with it. Like the next one I'm going to read is The Hunchback of the Notre by Victor Hugo. And, well, Crime and Punishment is a little bit later on in the series, but I will read it eventually. The other one was like 7 Life Lessons. Well, it's a very famous book, but it looks too non-fictional for me. Like I was too scared. Like I knew I wanted to choose one book of the 3 that he suggested, and that one just didn't really speak to me, although he said it had one of the biggest impacts on his life. But that didn't sound like he thought he enjoyed it the most. It just had a big impact on him, and I also wanted to enjoy the book that I was going to read. So I chose the 3rd one because it was on my TBR already, and that is Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Harrari. And well, if you haven't heard about this book, I am quite surprised. It is very famous, about the history of humankind. Obama blurbed it saying, interesting and proactive. It gives you a sense of perspective and how briefly we've been on this earth. And I love non-fictions like this. I heard from some people that they were like, oh, this book has so much hype. It's probably like too popular science. And when you read it, when you know a little bit of science, you're like, this is not it. But then they read it and they were like, oh no, this deserves the hype. This is really good. And the guy that recommended this to me is the smartest person I know on the whole earth. So if he thinks this is the best book existing, I have a very high expectations. I also love that I have kind of a non-fiction on my list now to read. So really nice, going to read this soon. And hope I like it as much as everyone else did. And then another thing I also found very funny, we were at the bookstore and we actually got a certificate of being a bookseller that sold a lot of books from where the Crawdads sing. It says something like the best Crawdad seller. And they actually delivered us like pastries, very sweet ones that there are like popular in the southern of the Netherlands and also only made there. So it was literally sent to us from the southern of the Netherlands to celebrate that we sold a lot of copies of Where the Crawdads Sing. I thought that was very funny. I will put the certificate on the screen because if you're Dutch, you can read it then. But it's really funny. I thought it was incredible. So yeah, laughed a lot about it. It was also like the pastries were just in the same box as the book. So I just opened it like, oh, new books. And then it was like, wait, this we can eat. Really nice surprise. But that was actually it for this video. I'm sorry I couldn't finish Firekeeper's Daughter. I think I can finish it today, but just not in time for this video. And also I do still need to read quite some pages. But at least I finished A Marvellous Light in this vlog. I do have a small problem as including this one, I still want to finish 4 books in September and I have exactly a week to do that. That sounds not possible, I have to admit. But I'm still going to try. This one I hope I can finish today. The other one is a Dutch YA, which I usually read very fast. So I hope I can finish that one by Monday because I have some time tomorrow on Sunday, even though I have to work. And on Monday morning. So I hope I can finish that one on Monday. And then we have The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, which I need to finish before the 2nd of October, so before next week's Sunday. So that one I will have the rest of the week for then, and then I hope I can also finish the last book, because I promised someone that I would read it in September, but if it's beginning October, it's not that bad. So that one is the least of my worries, but the other 3 I really want to finish. So if you are willing to see me struggle a lot, then you need to watch next week's reading vlog, because I'm going to try to fit in as much as possible reading. I hope you liked this vlog. If you did, please leave a like. And if you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, you will be notified whenever I post a new video. I hope you'll have a lovely day filled with books, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. I know I have been too lucky with my ratings last few months actually. So when I now read a mediocre book, I immediately get in a mini slump. So I hope I get out of that soon.